Inside the Lines is brought to you by Hendrick Honda of Charleston. When you buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, our Advantage program takes care of you for life. Make Hendrick Honda of Charleston your first choice for your next vehicle. Visit their showroom at 1478 Savannah Highway in Charleston or online at charlestonhonda.com. Welcome to Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com. I'm Jeff McHarriger. Thanks for tuning in again this week as we come to inside the Hall of Fame room here inside TD Arena. A lot to get to. The Southern Conference Basketball Tournament coming up this weekend from Asheville, North Carolina on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll talk about the men's and the women's basketball teams. Both teams finishing the regular season strong and both teams earning first-round byes. We'll start on the men's side. Let's look at the regular season standings in the Southern Conference. In the North, Elon picked up that #1 seed in the North at 13-5 in conference play, 20 wins overall in the season. App State picked up the #2 seed in the North at 10-8 in the regular season, followed by Western Carolina at 9-9, Samford at 9-9. Chattanooga and UNC Greensboro round out the North. In the South, the top two teams, Davidson and the College of Charleston. Davidson strong this year, obviously. 17-1 was their conference record, 23 wins overall. Right behind them, the Cougars, 14-4 this year in conference play. Again, second place in the South Division, getting that first-round bye. And 22 wins in his first season for Doug Wojcik as the head coach, followed by Georgia Southern, Wofford, the Citadel, and Furman. Now here's a look at the bracket. We'll start on the top side of the brackets. Here on the men's side, Davidson gets the overall #1 seed. App State finished in second place in the North. They'll be the overall #4 seed, so they both get first-round byes. And there you see on the top, Davidson will play the winner of Wofford and Georgia Southern. Remember, Georgia Southern beat Davidson earlier this season. And in the bottom half of that bracket, App State will take on the winner of Samford and Furman. Now, back home on the bottom side of the bracket, here for the College of Charleston, the 3 seed overall, a first-round bye. They will take on the winner of Western Carolina and the Citadel. So Charleston will take on either a Western Carolina team that had a good year or a rivalry matchup against their crosstown rival, the Citadel Bulldogs. And then there you see Elon, the #2 seed overall. They'll take on the winner of Chattanooga and UNCG. Obviously a much different atmosphere this year for the College of Charleston going into the Southern Conference Tournament. As last year, a lot of transition and turmoil after Bobby Cremens had to step away. Mark Byington took over. This year, a lot of transition. And for the College of Charleston, much more continuity now this year going into the Southern Conference Tournament.
I do think it's a different type of mentality this year. I think last year with all the injuries we had, just going into the conference tournament, we was on the last leg. We was going there just trying to make a push. I think this year we have confidence. We know our identity. I think we're going in there with full confidence of we should be playing in the championship game and we have a good shot at winning this thing. So I think everybody's focused on the same page and we're going in there with a goal in mind.
And at this time, they were on a second coach at this time last year and not sure who the third coach was going to be. So I thought we got through some of those moments a couple weeks ago. I think the second half at Furman is a really big thing for us. The lid came off the basket. We shot it well. Nori shot it well. Bench contributed great. So I thought that was a good thing. I'm really kind of glad the way the Furman game worked. It would have been worse had we played really well in the first half and maybe not so well in the second. Instead, we turned that fortune around, and I think it's a good thing leading into the conference tournament, especially with the week off on being on spring break.
Here's a look at the final Southern Conference rankings for the men's squad. Points per game, 7th in the conference at just over 65 points per game. Field goal percentage, very good this year. 4th in the conference at 44.3%. Free throw shooting obviously is something that's going to be critical that the guys will have to improve on going into Southern Conference tournament play at just under 66%. 3-point shooting, not too bad. 6th in the conference, 34.6%. Rebounds, 2nd in the conference. Assist-to-turnover ratio has been much improved later in the season, 8th in the conference. And there you see scoring defense. That has been definitely a big asset for the Cougars all season long. 2nd in the conference in scoring defense at 61.1 points per game. The guys talked about the difference that their defense has made this year.
To think we could go from, to be one of the best defensive teams in the league, with being the best rebounding team and the most blocked shots, I don't know if I could have said that. So yeah, I mean, we've had our highs and we've had our lows, just like every team does.
It goes back to that phrase, offense wins games, defense wins championships. So we hang our hat on that. Every day we know our constant, and that's our defense. So if we can just build on the defense, you know, have transition buckets due to our defense can really make our offense, and that's always a good thing.
I think so. I mean, I think those are habits, just like free throw shooting is habits, or you're dribbling left hand, right hand, you're passing. Those are habits. So I think defensively we can make incredible adjustments on the fly. For instance, Furman, you know, they try to trick us on Saturday, and the kid, I'm out there watching warm-ups, and Stephen Kroon is out there in civilian dress clothes, and I'm talking to him on the bench, and the next thing I know, he's dressed for the game. Well, we can adjust our ball screen defense. I think we're that patterned, and we're that good, and we're that experienced now. So that would be just one example of us being able to change on the fly. So I think so. I mean, we've shown them a lot of tape. They've learned a lot. So I think we can play a lot of different ways, and I think the defense is pretty much a standard thing for us now. I really do.
Well, no doubt defense played a big key for the success the men's team had this year, and it also led to a lot of road wins as the College of Charleston finished 11-2 on the road this season after they beat Furman last Saturday. They were tied for first in the nation in road wins. Here's a look at some of their big-time road wins this season. Of course, at then 21st ranked Baylor, 63-59. At Elon, a big conference win on the road early in the season. And then, of course, that trip up to the Northeast at Vermont and at Marist, a couple of wins there. At Samford down in Chattanooga, and a big win at Western Carolina, the first time that they had won on the road in Cullowhee in about 5 or 6 seasons.
All year long, we had this mindset on the road that we're going to go in and we're going to handle business. It's been a real business trip, and I think if we can just keep that mindset, we'll be fine. We always got this saying called Road Warriors, so I think that's going to be a big part in the 3 games because that's all about toughness. We're just going to go on the road and just be focused as usual.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tournament time. I mean, it goes back for me, March. As a high school player, state tournament was always fun. It sounds like Asheville is a great venue. My family's excited, my wife and my kids, to drive up there and enjoy it and see what it's all about. So absolutely. I mean, and like you just said, that we're coming off a good win, and you know, Trent's pretty healthy, and it looks like Stitt's healthy. So, I think it is a good time.
Again, the guys finished 11-2 on the road this season, and they'll be on the road in Asheville, North Carolina. Here's a look at that bottom half of the bracket again as the Cougars will face the winner of Western Carolina and the Citadel, and then perhaps a semifinal round matchup against Elon, who they beat earlier in the season on the road, if Elon can get past the winner of Chattanooga and UNCG. That'll wrap up our first half of the show. We'll take a break. When we come back, boy, the women have won 4 of their last 5 games. They earned a first round bye. We'll check in on the women when we come back here on Inside the Lines on CFCSports.com.
At Hendrick Honda of Charleston, you get our best price every day. When you buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, our Advantage program takes care of you for life. We offer a lifetime powertrain limited warranty, free towing and shuttle service, complimentary loaner cars, and paintless dent repair. Make Hendrick Honda of Charleston your first choice for your next vehicle. Visit us today at 1478 Savannah Highway in Charleston or online at charlestonhonda.com.
Off speed, and it's crushed. Forget about it.
Makes a fantastic catch.
Into the wind, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 gone.
Oh, put me in cold. I'm ready to play today. Put me in cold.
Welcome back to Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com. I'm Jeff McCarriger. Thanks again for tuning in this week. Our show, as always, brought to you by Hendrick Honda on Savannah Highway. First half of the show, we talked about the men's team. Let's get to the women's side, where they have won 4 of their last 5 games, and after a strong finish to the regular season, the women able to pick up a first-round bye in the Southern Conference tournament. So here's how the standings finished in the regular season for the Southern Conference women. Chattanooga 19-1 on the season, 26-3 overall. A strong year, obviously, for the Mocs. Davidson Davidson at 16-4 overall. Elon 14-6. App State at 13-7. Now keep in mind on the women's side, the top 5 seeds get first-round byes. And with the College of Charleston again winning 4 of 5 to end the season, they finish at 11-9, had the tiebreak over Samford, and they get that first-round bye. Samford right behind them, followed by Furman, Georgia Southern, Western Carolina, UNC Greensboro, and then Wofford at 3-17. So here's a look at the women's bracket. We'll start in the bottom half where Davidson is the number 2 overall seed. They'll take on the winner of Furman and UNC Greensboro. And then Elon, the number 3 seed overall, you can see there, will take on the winner of Samford and Wofford. Look at the top half of the bracket now for the College of Charleston. They will take on App State on Saturday at 2:15. Chattanooga, the number 1 seed overall, will play the winner of Georgia Southern and Western Carolina. What a turnaround it's been this year for the College of Charleston. Just 6 conference wins last year, now 11-9 this season going into conference tournament play.
But the kids from day one bought in. There was no resistance. And anytime there's change, you worry about that. But we didn't have that worry. So we had a group of young women that just wanted to be better. And to see us grow, I mean, we grow day by day, we grow week by week. We started the season off with a win, and I think that game against Coastal was a confidence builder for the kids. It kind of allowed them, hey, okay, all of our preseason work was worth it. You know, I kind of believe in what the coaches are saying, and it just took on a life of its own.
At the end of the day, it's not really, about what other people think. It's what we know that we can do together as a team, like what our coaching staff knew from the beginning, from the time that they walked into our gym, that we could do together. So, just from the beginning, knowing what, like I said, our coaches knew we could do. And, knowing what each other could do, like pushing each other, like just working hard together. Like we knew we was not going to finish last. Like there was no way we were going to let each other, ourselves as a whole team, finish last.
And here's a look at the Southern Conference rankings for the women's team. Points per game, nearly 62 points per game, 4th in the conference. Field goal percentage down a little bit, 9th in the conference. Free throw percentage, again, much like the men, that's going to be something they'll have to work on and concentrate on in tournament play as the women finish 10th in conference play. 7th in three-point shooting percentage, 1st in rebounding, just over 45 rebounds per game. Assist to turnover ratio, there you see 0.7 at 6th in the conference. And scoring defense, also right there, 6th in the conference, allowing just over 62 points per game. Well, defense, one of the reasons why the women's team did so well towards the end of the season, as they won 4 of their last 5. The only 2 losses were against 2 tough teams, Chattanooga and Appalachian State. There you see the loss back on February 16th to Chattanooga, and then 4 wins in the last 5. The wins against Samford, Wofford, Western Carolina, and Furman.
I think that after our losing streak, our coach gave us a talk in practice about how we could still pull it together and still fight back and win. And I really feel like winning the next game after that 6-game losing streak, we really pulled it together after that when we just felt good and we just stayed on a roll and we wanted to keep the momentum going, and that's been working out for us so far.
We're battle tested for sure. We're all feeling good. I always talk about our kids are dialed in and our kids are in a great place. And again, practice yesterday was full of energy, full of excitement, and they're still learning and they're still wanting to be better. I talked with our point guard Jill yesterday, and she said, Coach, we're not happy with just being here. We want to win it all. We know what we want to do. And again, and I don't think that was just her telling me what she thought I wanted to hear. I could see the conviction in her voice, and so I'm excited to see what this weekend will hold, but I'm confident that our team will represent.
Again, the College of Charleston will take on Appalachian State in their first matchup on Saturday at 2:15 from Asheville. And here's a look at the comparison between the 2 squads. App State really good this year offensively at 69 points per game. Free throw shooting obviously is going to be, like I said earlier, critical for both the men's and women's teams. There you see Appalachian State shooting 76% from the free throw line as a team, but College of Charleston right now rebounding the advantage, 45 rebounds per game, and assist to turnover ratio just about equal. Got a chance to catch up with the girls and the coaches and talk about the matchup coming up this weekend against Appalachian State.
The 2 teams that we haven't won against, App State and Chat. And as we approach App, does our preparation change? Well, scheme always changes a little bit. But we don't get caught up in so much of they beat us twice. First of all, the tournament is 0-0. There's no record there. But we know where we fell short. And a lot of it was just effort plays and hustle plays and understanding that it's going to be a game of runs and a game of emotions. And we can't get weighed down if App goes on a 6-2 run or something, so to speak. But I think our kids, again, they're in a different place right now. They've seen where they've lost to an opponent and then they beat an opponent. And again, to have a win over Davidson, to have a win over Sanford, also gives them that confidence that any day, any time, anyone. And so we're ready for App. And it'll be more about what we need to do versus App themselves. They're going to come out and they're going to play hard. That's what they do. And they have a very solid player in Anna Freeman, and they have supporting cast. But we have 12 girls that are hungry. We have 12 girls that have something to prove. And I'll take those 12 up against anybody, any day.
One final look at the bracket. The number 1 seed overall, Chattanooga, will take on the winner of Georgia Southern and Western Carolina. And then the winner of that game will take on the winner of Appalachian State and the College of Charleston, the Cougars, in action on Saturday at 2:15. That wraps up this week's episode of Inside the Lines here on CFC Sports, presented by Hendrick Honda over on Savannah Highway. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, if you ever have any questions or comments you want to pass along to the players or coaches, you can tweet us anytime at Jeff_CFC. That's at Jeff_CFC. Also, a reminder, stay tuned here to CFCSports.com. We'll have features for you as we'll be following both the men's and women's team all weekend long. We'll post those up on the website for you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you again this weekend from Asheville.